So this guy is blasting Frank Sinatra's Jingle Bells from his apartment window on repeat in summer until a rowdy bar below him finally closes up. The garage doors open, drunk patrons are screaming on the patio, music's pouring out, and he's just playing Christmas music like some kind of petty vigilante for weeks. And here's the weird part, it actually worked. But I mean, is he the bad guy here? Okay, so here's the setup. This guy, he's lived in the same apartment for 8 years, right? Second floor of a building on the West Coast. Nothing fancy. But for those 8 years, the place directly below him was this quiet little sushi restaurant. Family-owned. They closed by like 9 or 10 every night. Had a patio with maybe 7 or 8 tables that jutted out onto the sidewalk. And honestly, he was a regular there. Loved the place. But then the owners retired. Finally, wanted to be near their grandkids, and the spot sat empty for about 3 months. And then construction starts, and he finds out it's this local entrepreneur who owns a bunch of bars and restaurants in the city. At first, he's kind of excited because the guy's other places have amazing burgers, like legit good. But here's the thing, this new owner doesn't want a restaurant, he wants a bar, which means staying open until 2 a.m. on weekends. 1 a.m. on weekdays. And apparently, the reason he picked that exact location, because everything else in the area closes early. So his place would become the spot everyone flocks to when other bars shut down. I mean, you can already see where this is going. The neighbors, not thrilled. But what are you gonna do, right? It's a business. So the bar opens, and within a month or two, it's clear they're targeting the 21 to 26-year-old crowd. Which, fine, do your thing. The guy says he's 40. He's not some ancient hermit. He still stays out late sometimes. But most nights, he goes to bed fairly early. And that's where the problem starts. Because around midnight, the bar patrons get loud. Like really loud, rowdy, drunk, screaming conversations. And the patio, it's directly below his window, so he hears everything. Every single word. And the bar has this garage-type door they open when the weather's nice, so people can flow in and out to the patio. When that door's open, he can hear their music clearly from outside, even through his door a little bit. It's not like a faint hum, it's legit disruptive. So being the reasonable guy he is, and I respect this, honestly, he doesn't go nuclear right away. He goes down to the bar during the day, finds the owner, and tries to have a calm conversation about the noise. Just a chat, neighbor to neighbor. Hey, here's what's happening late at night, can we figure something out? And the owner's response, basically, well, you can move if you don't like it. Just dismissive, completely blew him off. Didn't offer any solution, didn't apologize, didn't even pretend to care. Just move, that's it. So now the guy's frustrated, like understandably. He's lived there for 8 years. The building is rent-controlled, so moving isn't really an option. And even if it was, why should he have to move because some bar owner can't control his crowd? And here's where the story gets good. He figures, all right, if the owner won't do anything about the noise, and he won't even have a real conversation, then fine. He'll just have to participate. You know that saying. If you can't beat 'em, join 'em. Yeah, he decides to take that literally. Not by going down there and partying with them. Oh no, he's got something way more annoying in mind, something petty, something beautiful, honestly, because he realizes the bar can make noise, sure, but so can he. And he's got a pretty powerful Bluetooth speaker, an old phone, and absolutely nothing to lose. So he starts planning. And let me tell you, the song he picks, absolute genius. But I'm not gonna spoil that yet. Just know that he's about to fight fire with fire, and it's going to drive that bar absolutely crazy. All right, so here's where it gets amazing. One night, around 11 p.m., the drunk screaming conversations are at their peak. The garage door's wide open, music's blasting, and the guy's just had it. He's reached his limit. So he gets his fairly powerful Bluetooth speaker, sets it up on a small table in his window, and connects it to an old phone he's got lying around. And what does he play? Not some generic white noise, not death metal. He goes with, wait for it, Jingle Bells. The Frank Sinatra version, on repeat, because, as he says, he does have some class. And then he just leaves. goes to a local casino to play cards until after the bar closes, comes back at 2:30 a.m., turns off the music and goes to sleep. That's it. That's the move. Now, here's the thing. He doesn't do this every night. He's not a monster. He only does it on nights when they have the patio door open and the crowd gets loud. If it's quiet, no Sinatra. He's basically using Christmas music as a reactive weapon. And he repeats this, get this, 4 to 5 times a week for about 3 weeks. And almost immediately, it starts working. He notices the garage door to the bar is closed more often than not. The only people hanging out on the patio are smokers, and they don't stay long. Because who wants to enjoy a cigarette while Jingle Bells is seeping out of someone's window over and over and over again? It's like psychological warfare, but make it festive. And the bar's crowd thins out, people stop lingering, the patio empties. And then, this is the best part, they start closing earlier, like noticeably earlier, because nobody's hanging around. Why would they? The vibe is completely destroyed. You can't have a cool, late-night drinking spot when upstairs neighbor is literally playing Christmas music in July. So the bar's losing business. That's obvious. The guy even admits he started to feel a little bad. Like, okay, maybe this is kind of petty. Maybe the workers are losing tips. Maybe he's costing the owner money. But then he remembers he tried to talk to the owner. He went down there during the day like an adult and tried to find a solution. And the owner basically laughed at him and said, you can move. No compromise. No, let's work something out. Just dismissive. So the guilt, it fades pretty fast. And honestly, the owner never even came to talk to him. Not once. No knock on the door, no note, no complaint to the building manager. Which is weird, right? If someone was messing with your business like that, you go have a word with them. But nothing. The guy's theory. The owner probably didn't want anyone sniffing around his permits or licenses. Which, spoiler alert, turns out to be exactly right. But for now, the Jingle Bells bandit, as he later calls himself, keeps up the routine. Only on loud nights. Only when the garage doors open. And every time the bar closes a little earlier, the patio gets a little emptier and the neighborhood gets a little quieter. It's not revenge. Not exactly. It's more like enforced peace, with a holiday soundtrack. And here's the thing that kills me, he never once escalated. He didn't call the cops, didn't file complaints with the city, didn't start a petition. He just played Frank Sinatra from his window and went to play cards. That's it. And it worked better than any official channel probably would have. So yeah, by the end of those 3 weeks, the bar is basically on lockdown. Garage door stays shut. Patio's a ghost town. They're closing earlier. And the guy's just sitting upstairs, enjoying the silence, waiting to see if they'll ever open that door again. Spoiler, they do. Eventually. But that's a whole other disaster. So naturally, after all this, the guy posts his story on Reddit, on the Am I the A-hole subreddit. And the comments, oh man, they're all over the place. His dad thinks he's being petty. Some of his friends agree. Like, dude, you're costing the bar money. What about the workers? And he gets that. He does feel a little bad for the staff. But then other friends think it's hilarious. And honestly, so does a huge chunk of Reddit. But here's where it gets fun. The top comments are pure gold. One person suggests he should have played a tone between 17,000 and 21,000 megahertz instead of Sinatra. Because here's the thing, older people can't hear those frequencies, but anyone under 25. It's like nails on a chalkboard. They'd clear out in seconds. The guy actually responds like, okay, I'm keeping that in my back pocket for when I become a really cranky old man. Which, I mean, fair. Then there's a commenter from the UK asking about legal options. Like, in the UK, they have laws about excessive noise and signs asking people to be quieter for neighbors. And they're wondering, couldn't he have done something officially? But the guy points out, hey, the owner wouldn't even talk to me. What's a noise complaint gonna do when the bar's technically operating legally? Or so everyone thought at the time. And here's my favorite part. He talked to his neighbors before starting the whole Jingle Bells campaign. The ones on either side of him and the people above him. And they were all on board. They literally said, it won't be worse than what we're already dealing with, and hey, glad someone's trying something. So he had backup, a whole floor of petty allies. Oh, and he also reveals that he spent a lot of time thinking about his song choice. Like this wasn't random. He had contenders. Let It Go from Frozen was on the list. So was Baby Shark. I mean, can you imagine? A drunk 24-year-old trying to enjoy a cigarette at 1 a.m. while Baby Shark blares from an upstairs window. That's psychological warfare on another level. But he went with Sinatra because, and I quote, "I do have some class." Anyway, the community overwhelmingly says he's not the a-hole. One commenter puts it perfectly. He told you could move if you don't like it, so he can move his business. Fair's fair, right? But there's one comment that really sticks out. Someone says they're surprised he didn't complain to the city council when the liquor license petition was posted, and they theorize that the owner probably told the city it was gonna be more of a restaurant than a bar, and now he's doing the opposite. Which, turns out to be exactly what happened. So the comments are wrapping up, everyone's on his side, people are sharing their own petty revenge stories, and the guy's feeling pretty validated. But then, and this is where things get wild, he posts an update, 4 months later. And let me tell you, the holiday spirit wars of 2025, they're not over yet. Okay, so fast forward 4 months. It's the 4th of July, and the bar decides to throw a massive party. Like a really massive party. The kind that gets way, way out of hand. The narrator's Sinatra defense system, powerless, completely powerless. The music from the bar is too loud, the yelling is everywhere. People are spilling onto the sidewalk, smoking, screaming. It's a whole mess. And then a fight breaks out. Cops get called. The bar gets shut down for the night. But here's where it gets really interesting. Remember how some commenters guessed the bar wasn't properly licensed? Turns out they were exactly right. See, on the West Coast, there's something called a nightclub license or something similar that you need if you want to stay open late, like past a certain hour. And this bar, they didn't have it. The police notified the local liquor control board after that 4th of July disaster, and the LCB came in and pulled their license to serve alcohol, pending a hearing or whatever. But honestly, it didn't even matter because shortly after that, they just closed the doors. Done. Finished. For a little while anyway. Around the last week of August, the place reopens. Same name, but now it's just a restaurant. New hours, they close at 10 p.m. daily. And there are new signs up, focusing more on the mood than on booze. So the narrator's curious, right? He has to know what happened. A few days later, he goes in for lunch, sits at the bar, starts chatting with the bartender. And he asks, what's with the rebrand? The bartender tells him that the owner's business partner is now running things. Apparently, the original owner, the dismissive guy who told him to move, is having a rough time. Like getting divorced, partying hard, drinking to cope, and honestly, the narrator says he kind of felt bad hearing that. But then he confesses. He tells the bartender, "Yeah, I'm the Jingle Bells bandit." The bartender just starts laughing. "Oh, you're that guy." Turns out, the previous bartender was a buddy of his and had told him all about the Christmas music warfare. And get this, the reason the owner never escalated things, it wasn't because he didn't care. It was because he didn't want the narrator to complain to the city. Because he knew his license situation was sketchy. He was basically hoping the guy would just give up or move. And that 4th of July party, the new managing partner told the original owner not to have it, but he did it anyway, which is exactly why the business partner is now running everything. So the war is over. The patio below the narrator's window is open most of the time now, but it's fine. Just people having lunch and dinner, talking at normal volumes. Sober, peaceful. Oh, and one more thing. The narrator admits they make a really good burger. He's been back a few times. The new staff is super nice. And honestly, it's kind of a happy ending. The guy didn't exactly win because the owner kind of shot himself in the foot with that party. But he also didn't lose. The noise is gone. The bar is a restaurant. And the only thing playing from that window now is nothing, just silence. Which, you know, is exactly what he wanted all along. All right, quick second story, because it's a good palate cleanser. There's this guy whose younger brother is a total mooch. Like, classic favorite child who never grew up. Their mom keeps paying his rent, his utilities. Meanwhile, he's posting expensive food online. And whenever there's a free meal, oh, he shows up with his wife and her 3 kids, orders way too much, then snatches all the leftovers to take home. Mom complains privately but won't say no to his face. So now it's the narrator's milestone birthday, big one. Mom wants to take him out to dinner, and he's like, I don't want brother's whole entourage there, not this time. So he lays down ground rules, just him, mom, brother and sister-in-law, no kids, and he tells mom, you have to be the one to say it. She finally puts her foot down, and guess what? Brother agrees. Kids spend the day with their birth father. Dinner happens, no drama, no leftovers snatched, and everyone actually has a nice time. Small win, right? Last story, and this one's pure corporate comedy. A programmer used to manage a US team. Then the company consolidates with a UK office and new boss says, no more US managers, just program. And if your old team asks for help, don't answer. Send them to their new UK managers. Problem is, there's only a 2 to 3 hour overlap each day with the UK. So when the US staff has questions in the afternoon, the UK is already asleep. The programmer just shrugs and says, sorry, ask your boss tomorrow. Within 2 weeks, deadlines are getting missed left and right. UK managers are freaking out. And eventually, shocker, management realizes, hey, maybe we do need a US manager after all. They offer him the job back with a raise. Classic corporate logic, right? Sometimes the best negotiation move is just doing exactly what you're told and watching everything fall apart. Hey, thanks for hanging out all the way to the end. If you made it this far, I'm guessing you actually liked these stories. So congrats, you've got good taste. There's more where these came from if you want to stick around. Hit that subscribe button if you feel like it really does help. Or save this for later. Either way, take care. Talk to you in the next one.